Special education provides specialized instructions to students with disabilities that are at each student's ability level. This helps students meet their potential when it comes to their academics. All students with disabilities are provided with services for special education if they are diagnosed with one of the 13 disabilities covered under the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, free of charge as stated. Without special education laws, students with disabilities may not be offered the same opportunities as students without disabilities. The laws are important as they give information to parents and stakeholders that are a part of the child's academic career. These laws also make sure students with disabilities receive appropriate, free public education in their least restrictive environment for them to be successful. The United States gained its independence in 1776. For the next 200 years, over 4.5 million children were denied the right to adequate schooling due to them having a disability. The first advocacy groups were started in 1933 and included parents of a child with disabilities. These parents fought for their children to have equal education opportunities as the children without disabilities. In the 1950s, these groups led to the trainings mandatory for teachers that work with deaf, hard of hearing, or intellectual disabled children. Brown versus the Board of Education was also occurring around this same time, and this law stated all students be given the same opportunities in their education. Although this court case did not cover any special education issues at the time, this court case would be brought up again to help special needs children receive the same education as students without disabilities. The 1960s led to funding for special education programs to be created in the United States. In the 1970s, more advances were made to help support children with special needs in their academics. 1971, Pennsylvania fought and won the court case that stated all students should be given the right to equal education, regardless if they have a disability. This lawsuit was known as Pennsylvania Association for Retarded Children versus Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. In Mills versus the Board of Education, parents filed a lawsuit due to their children not receiving proper supports to address their needs as they had been diagnosed with a disability. The court ruled the deprivation of the services needed. Students were being denied the right to public education. The court quoted the case Brown versus Board of Education. In 1975, the Education for All Handicapped Children Act was enabled, which guaranteed the right for all students, regardless of having a disability or not, to free public education. Individual with Disabilities Education Act was authorized in 1997, which emphasized the usage of individual education plans for students with disabilities. The No Child Left Behind Act was enabled in 2004, which gave funding to schools to provide resources to help students with disabilities. The Every Student Succeeds Act was signed in 2015 and took over the No Child Left Behind Act. In the Board of Education versus Raleigh, the court ruled that students with disabilities should be given the services and supports necessary for them to be successful in their academics and education. These services must be provided at the public's expense and meet the state's educational standards. In Winkleman versus Parma City School District, the court ruled parents are able to prosecute IDEA claims on their own behalf. This also gave rights to parents as covered under the Individual with Disabilities Education Act. Some resources that are available for parents online regarding different laws about special education include the Centers for Information and Resources, California Department of Education website, Project Ideal, and the Arizona Department of Education found under the Exceptional Student Services tab. These 4 websites provide parents with information about children with disabilities and laws that prevent students with disabilities to fail in their academics. These websites also provide resources to parents about services and groups that are available for children outside of the school setting.